Pride of Higara. This is Captain Soban of the fleet, Farron Shah. Looks like you could use a hand. Attention all Sobani, pick your targets and engage.
Hello everyone, this is Captain Soban. Welcome aboard to Starship Normal Prize for another episode of Homeworld PDS Ship Showcase. We are doing version 6. Okay, so as you can tell, we are going to be talking about the Vaygr side and all their ships and their weapons and what their ships are good against and all that fun jazz. So the first one we're looking at right now is the light assault craft. I believe these have been updated from the Homeworld 2 variants. And these are the main interceptor class ships on the Vaygr side. Anyways, let's go ahead and start reading about it. These are woefully inadequate in the modern battlefield. The Pioneer class light assault craft have been converted to man missile buses for standoff attack missions. Okay, so they've been modified to hold a bunch of missiles. Cool. The role is LAC, which is, I believe, Light Assault Craft is what that stands for. The armament is one 20mm flat-shed cannon array, one 160mm advanced concussion missile pod, and one 300mm fusion missile pylon. So, in Homeworld 2, these guys were your main interceptors, and they weren't exactly the best against Higarans. Their only strength was they usually had large squadrons compared to Higarans, so they could usually win based off of numbers instead of firepower. But I would definitely say that these would be your main fighter-to-fighter combat vessels. Maybe probably better against Corvettes because of the missile pods. But we'll figure that out the more we read. But if I would say these are probably your... Oh, they also have an LDS system, which I believe is Laser Defense System, which I believe, if I remember, when I had when I talked to the developer about a week ago, that is kind of like their defense system that allows them to stop kinetic weapons from hitting the ship. Kind of like how the Titan had the defense fighter back in the day. So yeah, that would be good against that. Anyways, let's move on to the assault bomber, which I believe is considered to the similar to the assault bomber on the Higaran side, where it's a hybrid fighter and Corvette fighter. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. Is it these guys? I believe it is. Oh, it's these guys over here. So as you can tell, they're definitely decked out. They have a lot of weapons on them. The Sarkion class bombers have been refitted to 2E standard with improved engines, armor technology, and firepower. They can carry heavy attack missiles on external pylons. Yeah, I can see that right here. So they come with two 150mm pulse cannons, two 20mm autocannons, one 160mm advanced concussion missile pod, and one 300mm fusion missile pylon. So it has the same missile armaments as the light assault craft. It just comes with a couple larger weapons. So yeah, this would probably be your main Corvette class killer for your fighter class ship on the Vaygr side, I would imagine, because they use plasma bombs, which are usually better against slower moving ships than fast moving fighters. Our next fighter is the HAC-IIA, which is... Oh, I believe it's these guys right here. No, wait, you're the light assault craft.
Ready.
Are you? Oh, you're the Sarkion class. My bad. So this is the Sarkion, which is the assault bomber, which makes a lot more sense. It looks closer to the bomber class. Where the one over here that we just looked at is the HAC. That would explain why it has a lot more missiles and whatnot on it. Okay, so that's my bad. So let's read about the HAC. So this yet unnamed heavy fighter evolution has proven popular across the Vaygr reaches in the very short time since its introduction. Forged in the flames of war, the HAC-II emphasizes on a balance between firepower, agility, and survivability. The 2A is a strike configuration with an optional rear-facing defensive weapons system. Wait, really? Oh, is it this one? No, that's facing forward. Huh. Well, that's cool. It comes with 260mm unguided weapon pods, two 90mm autocannons, and two 80mm plasma lances, and a light defense or laser defense system. So I believe this is the one that's supposed to be good against frigates. It has a lot of heavy firepower, especially the unguided weapons pod, which means that they shoot straight, so they're not good against targets that are moving quickly. So they're good against slow-moving frigates. And the plasma lance could probably tear Corvettes apart. Same with the autocannon. So I would say Corvettes and frigates would be the main group for these fighters. But again, we'll take a little bit closer look to the Sarkion 2 because I had the wrong one selected. My bad. This one comes with the 250mm pulse cannons, which I believe are these two things on the side. Two 20mm autocannons, which is the main front turret. I believe is this thing, but that might be the cockpit. It's here somewhere. The 160mm advanced concussion missile pod, which again is somewhere on this thing, and the 300mm missile, big missile pod system. So cool. Now the last fighter we were looking at, it's the HAC-IIB, which I believe is the upgraded Lance fighters. So the HAC-IIB is a specialized fighter interceptor with reduced weight and operational cost. It's been a primary armament of two spinal mount high velocity autocannons and revolver configuration. So role is interceptor, two 90mm revolver autocannons, and two 80mm plasma lance, the LDS. So cool. It's got the two lancers in the front. It's got the two plasma lances on the side, and that's about it. So these guys, I would say, and of course the light defense system, these guys would be good against Corvettes and frigates. I think this one would probably be better against heavy capital ships, which makes sense, because the Higarans had like an interceptor, a hybrid interceptor, and a heavy bomber, and I believe this guy is the heavy bomber. So you have your light assault craft, which are good against fighters, the assault bomber, which is good against fighters and corvettes, corvettes, and maybe even frigates, the HAC-II, which is good against frigates and capital ships, and then your advanced fighter, which is good against fighters and corvettes. So that's kind of like your main lineup when it comes to fighters for the Vaygr side. Next, we have our corvettes, which we have about 6 of them. The first one we're going to look at is the Irrish-shel, the battle slope. I just gotta figure out, there it is. Which look like a heavily turreted missile Corvette. Indeed. Anyways, let's go ahead and read about them. The Vaygr battle slopes are recent modernizations of obsolete light cavalry units. They are deployed as patrol and escort combats, and with their extreme firepower and rotational maneuverability are not to be trifled with. The Irrish-shel is a missile corvette conversion optimized for the anti-fighter picket role. Okay, so this is your anti-fighter corvette class. Comes with two 160mm concussion missile launchers, two 130mm autocannons, and four 90mm autocannons, and a light defense, and of course a laser defense system. So lots of autocannons to go with its missile combat, which I believe come out of the sides, kind of like how the Titan missile launchers came out. Also, before anything happens, I went ahead and put all my guys in passive in case we get attacked so they don't move in and engage while I'm trying to show everything off. So it looks like... Oh, that turret does rotate. I don't think the front mounted turret rotates, but the top and bottom one look like they rotate. Where exactly is this system? Those autocannons are on this thing somewhere. I think it's just all three of these. These are all three of the big autocannons, which can be destroyed or disabled. So, yep, there's that ability. And next we have the other battle slope, the HAC-IIA, which is the other conversion of the missile Corvette. And this one looks like it's much heavily armored. Or armed, that's what I meant to say. Vaygr battle slopes, so recent modernizations, blah blah blah. The HAC-IIA class is a 1E assault Corvette conversion optimized for a capital assault role. So this is your anti-frigate, anti-capital ship Corvette. It's an assault gunship, comes with two 400mm laser plasma cannons, four 130mm autocannons, and the one 90mm autocannon. So it's kind of the same as the other one, except its missile launching capability has been replaced with heavily armed laser plasma cannons. Okay. So this is definitely more of a Corvette frigate role, and the top one is more of a anti-fighter Corvette. Okay. So now we have our command frigate. And this is from Homeworld 2. This is a tactical command vessel equipped with a full suite of fire control director systems, battle management facility, as well as a command control communications unit. Weapons of friendly ships can be then sub-oriented to a single command for maximum efficiency. Recently refitted with electronics warfare capability, disrupts enemy attack firecon systems and sensor and jamming radiuses. Okay, so you can jam the enemy sensors and disrupt their auto or their turrets. So this is a tactical command post with a comes with a LD laser defense system built in. And basically this buddy helps buff up all your guys so their combat readiness is a lot better. So they can target things easier or maneuver things better, or, you know, it buffs up your fleet. That's its main purpose. Doesn't have any weapons of its own, but it is a command Corvette. I like the bridge down here at the bottom. That looks cool. So after that, we now have the Shamster, which is they are part of the Daughters of the Wind. These are the heavy Corvette variants. I need a 2D, which is this one over here. It looks like the enemy's coming in, so we might have to do this quickly. So the Sham 2D, which is the CTH, named after the horse cavalry of old, the Banterif. I'm not the best when it comes to names, so hopefully I pronounced that properly, are the product of joint Vaygr-Tidan efforts. Oh, okay. Excelling in offensive maneuvers, the Daughters of the Wind can be classified as very heavy fighters. The 2D is outfitted with 20nm cans,
supporting friendly units,
arrays of the lateral hardpoints. The role is space superiority. So they have one 550mm pulse cannon. Okay, I believe that's that thing in front. Two 160mm advanced concussion missile tubes, which I believe are these things on the side. Four 90mm autocannons and four 20mm ACAs, which I believe that's I think that's autocannon array. So that's cool. So I don't exactly know where all those autocannons are, but I would definitely say this thing classifies in the anti-fighter and Corvette role. The big pulse cannon in the front, though, makes me think it has a little bit of anti-frigate capability, too. And with that giant battle going on in the background, they seem to be handling themselves, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. But anyways, the next one is the Shemtar 2E, which is these guys right over here. The 2E is outfitted with unguided close assault unitens of the lateral hardpoints. So this looks like more of a direct fire type of a vessel. So capital assault, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, where it gets really up close and personal with a capital ship and then just hammers on them and then runs away. So it has the one 550mm pulse cannon in the front, 28 160mm heavy rocket tubes. Oh my god. What the heck? Okay, that is a lot of rocket tubes, and they're rocket tubes, which means they're not guided. So yeah, he definitely has to get up close and personal with the enemy to do a massive amount of damage. 460mm advanced concussion missile tube. Which those ones I'm not exactly sure where they are. Oh wait, I think it's these things on front. It's these four little things right here. Unless those are just antennas. Nope, they look like weapons. And then the 490mm autocannons. So this is definitely a type of ship that will need some sort of escort or need some sort of coverage in order to pull off. It's the type of ship that sees the enemy, it goes right after it, and then pulls away once it launches all of its rockets. So it's probably require a little bit of micromanagement to pull these guys off, but you could probably do a massive amount of damage against a destroyer or a battlecruiser class ship, no problem. And definitely use it. I would definitely use it as a 1 to cripple a lot of to do a lot of damage against the enemy, or if the enemy has, like, let's say like let's look at my shipyard right now. Like, let's say the enemy has a couple turrets that you notice will cause issues for your fighters and corvettes, then you could use those guys. You can use these guys as kind of a alpha strike to disable those turrets, pull away, and then you can bring in like the bomber squadrons or whatever to finish the job. Very interesting role. I'm definitely looking forward to messing around with these type of ships. Our last one I actually wasn't able to build because you can only have one command Corvette out at a time, and it's an upgraded version of the Corvette. I'm going to go ahead and retire this guy so we can get him built, so I can show him off, but we'll read about him while we're waiting for him to get built. The replacement of the first generation command, or CTC, the command Corvette, the Shemtar 2F is a well-suited as a tactical commander's mount in battle. Equipped with a full array of C-31 avionics, the 2C pulls double duty as an offensive electronics warfare platform with its Alarant 2E electronic warfare package. So role Cavalry Floretta leader. It is, yeah, a leader of the pack. Has one 550mm pulse cannon, similar to these guys, because it's off of the same design. 260mm advanced concussion missile tube, and 4 90mm autocannons, and it comes with an LDS. It's also really expensive because I think it's pretty much okay. So it's not the same as that one, but it has some defenses against fighters, corvettes, and frigates. But it's not a ship that you would be using directly in combat. It is a ship that it's a leader, so it has some ways to protect itself, unlike the command Corvette.
Roger.
So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Oh, and it's also in a squadron too. It's not just one ship, it's actually a squadron of 2 ships.
Contact. Let's do this.
Interesting. I was not expecting that. Anyways, this is what the ship looks like. Do not engage. you're here to be shown off. If the base dies, it dies. But yeah, I'm actually getting pretty good at this. But that is all of the fighters and corvettes of the Vaygr side.
Resource collector taking enemy fire.
And as we slowly get some damage, I guess we have some time. Let's go ahead and see if we can engage some. I really want to see these guys in battle, because I think these ones will be my favorite on the Vaygr side, at least for now. It's also going to be the thumbnail for today's episode. Let's go, boys. Go get your guns working. Kill them. Show off all of your fancy schmancy moves. Yeah, I like these ships. I've only seen the fighters and corvettes on the Vaygr side, but if I would say out of everything I've seen right now, this one is definitely my favorite. The oh, I don't want the weapon system. The $3s. Excuse me, the modified missile corvettes that have plasma lancers on the front. They are definitely my favorite. But anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this episode here. In the next episode, we'll be talking about the frigates and destroyer class ships. Going into details, checking out their weapons, figuring out what they're good against, what they're bad against. And then after that, I'm hoping to do the battle cruisers, production ships, non-combat, and platforms. Kind of just going to throw all of that into one, because there isn't a whole lot to really go through with those type of ships. Like for platforms, yeah, we got 3, and they're basically the same as Homeworld, so nothing too crazy. Same with non-combat ships, because this game focuses more on main combat. It doesn't really focus on economy or you know, cloaking or stuff like that, like some of the other mods do. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a like if you did. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. And if you want to see more of me, I do stream on Twitch. Excuse me, I apologize about my voice. It's a little warm in my room right now because it's summertime, so my voice isn't exactly adjusting to it at the moment. I'm drinking tea or whatnot, but it's just acting weird today. But anyways, I do have a Twitch. I'm planning to try to stream at least once or twice a week. I'm having weird issues with my work. They've cut our hours. We're trying to figure out why. So I might be streaming more until we can get more hours at work to kind of, you know, keep myself from getting bored, because I do like to keep myself occupied. And I do have a Discord. It'll be in the link description. You can talk to other fellow Homeworld people, or just have fun in the discussions that go on the channel, and just hang out and have fun. Until next time, guys, this is Captain Soban signing out.